this question asks you to find the equation of the image of the graph of y equals to sine x under a translation of pi onto in the positive direction of the x-axis, followed by a dilation of factor half from the y-axis, followed by a reflection in the x-axis. So this is your old equation, and you want to find the brand new image, so the new equation under all these differences here. So first of all, I suppose it might be a good idea to start building the equation up. So these are the changes. So to get the new x value, you have to take the old x value, and there was a translation of pi onto in the positive direction of the x-axis. So you're taking the old x value and you're adding pi on 2. Now, then it followed by a dilation factor of half from the y-axis. So a dilation of half from the y-axis, if we just draw out a little axis just to get a visual, here's your y, here's your x. If you're going from half from the y-axis, it's either that direction or this direction here. So from always means that you're kind of you're bouncing off the y-axis. Okay, so this is actually an x dilation factor because it's moving parallel to the x-axis. Okay, now what we're going to have to do then, because we can see that sequence of orders is first that we have a translation and then we're following it by a dilation of factor of half from the y-axis, we have to take this entire equation and times it by a half. And then it says followed by a reflection in the x-axis. So reflection in the x-axis means if I have my graph here and I reflect around the x-axis, I have essentially flipped it over like so. Okay, so it's actually a change in y values from up there to down here. So what has happened is that to get to the new y value, you had to take the old y value and place a negative in front of it. So once we've got all of these sequences, what we can do is we can actually just rearrange obtain the old values. So rearrange equations to obtain old equations. The reason why we need the old equations is that we have the old formula, and what we're going to do is we're probably going to substitute in the equation. So let's have a look at how to do this. First of all, we'll work with this part of the equation here. We're going to multiply both sides by 2, and that's because we've got a half there that we need to get rid of. So we've got 2x dash equals to x plus pi on 2, like so, and then we're going to move the pi on 2 over to the other side. So x equals to 2 minus pi on 2. Okay, and so this is our old equation in terms of the new x value. And we do the same to the y. It's going to be a bit less work. So y equals to y dash with a minus on the outside, like so. So we know that the old equation was y equals to sine of x. And this was the old equation. And the image, to find the image when you have made all of these particular changes, is you just have to replace that y value with negative y dash and replace this old x value with the equation that you've built here. So it's equal to sine of 2x dash minus pi on 2. Okay, so we've got this particular equation, and now we can just move the negative over to the other side. giving us this particular function. Okay, so this is our image. And when you've completed it, you don't need to have the dashes anymore. But that's the new equation. So if you have a value that you now want to find for y, and you've got an appropriate x value, you can substitute it into this formula. So this is the equation of the image. Equation of image. Okay, so that's essentially how you build the new transformed equation.